is shut out the bad. Sometimes they'll recognize it in other lives, and they may wonder how people continue to live in those circumstances, or but when they look at their own lives, the impetus to denial, to repressing these thoughts about how bad things are, is immense. And I think there's good evolutionary explanation for that. Because if you think about what sorts of beings are likely to persist with life and to reproduce, it's going to be ones that have that optimism bias, the ones that are going to push these thoughts away. So people who are going to see how bad it is are much less likely to want to reproduce the human condition by producing new people. And some of them might even take their own lives. Now, we'll probably speak about suicide in a while, but let me just hasten to add immediately that I'm not recommending suicide as a general course of action.
Right. Okay. So generally, your thinking is that if you take a clear-eyed look overall for all of us, while life is not unadulteratedly bad, that overall there's more bad than good. And so on balance, we have to say that it's bad. Would you also add in there that the prospects for it getting better are similar?
I think that's true. So a lot of people's optimism consists in thinking that we're going to make such fantastic scientific advances that much of human suffering will be eliminated. And I don't have that optimism. I'm not saying that there won't be improvements. There may well be. I doubt, first of all, that the improvements will be sufficiently good that it will be worth producing new people. But I also think that the time lag between now and then is going to involve so much human suffering that there's something obscene about continuing to reproduce in the hope that down the line there'll be these advances. So think, for example, about somebody advancing this very argument, let's say 2,000 years ago, and saying, look, we've got no anesthetics. I mean, they wouldn't even have a word for it, but they say we've got nothing that can dull our pain. If one's leg has to be amputated, it gets cut off while one's fully conscious, perhaps with a bit of grog. And so one day, maybe humans will invent an anesthetic, a way in which we can put people to sleep while surgery is performed. Well, think about the 1800 years between then and when anesthetics were discovered. That seems like a lot of human suffering which you're going to justify in the name of the future benefit of an anesthetic discovery. No. And I would say something similar about our position now with respect to the future.
Okay, so let's just take that as a given then for the moment and build on that. And you do, so we've talked so far, just to bring everybody up to speed, kind of about there is no ultimate meaning in life, though we can find meaning at the terrestrial level. Most of that for most people is going to be kind of at the personal individual relationship level, though some may be able to have some meaning that goes beyond that. And then overall, life is pretty bad. And so not very much meaning, or some meaning, limited meaning, no cosmic meaning, and overall life's pretty bad. So then the three things that you specifically take a look at in the book are death, immortality, and then suicide. So I think death is the part of the book. I think it's the longest chapter in the book, and it's kind of some of the most nuanced arguments that you've got about it. And maybe we can't get into all the details of that, but you do end up coming to a conclusion about death as well. So would you start to get into that in any way that you think is going